The headlines: Buhari appoints Keyamo as 2019 campaign spokesperson. Senate summons ministers over purchase of helicopters. Health workers to begin nationwide strike. Nigerians renew interest in voter registration. And in sports, Barcelona to make £60 million move for United Marshall. You are on to the news on the hour on television Nigerian, and I am Nten Ekbang with the details. In a top story, President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Mr. Festus Keyamo SAN as the Director of Strategic Communications for the forthcoming 2019 presidential campaigns, making him the official spokesperson for the 2019 Buhari presidential campaigns. According to a statement contained in a letter by the Director General of the Buhari Campaign Organization, Rotimi Amechi, the appointment was specifically for Keyamo to aid the president to get the party's nomination, as well as ensure the success of subsequent campaigns. The Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, to appear before its Committee on Appropriation to explain why $462 million was released for the purchase of helicopters by the federal government without the approval of the National Assembly. The government officials are to appear, which have been given a one-week deadline to present their findings to the Senate. The recent development came after a lawmaker at plenary drew the attention of the Senate to the alleged withdrawal from the Federation account of $462 million by the federal government for the purchase of helicopters from an American firm. The Deputy President of the Senate, Ikekwe Madu, who presided over the plenary, put the request to voice vote, and it was unanimously granted, while the matter was referred to the Committee on Appropriations for further actions. Bearing any last-minute change of plans, the Joint Health Sector Union (HESU) will commence an indefinite nationwide strike by midnight on Tuesday, the 17th of April 2018. President of the union, Mr. Josiah Biobelemoye, dropped the hint in Abuja when he led the union executive on a courtesy visit to the Chief Medical Director of the National Hospital Abuja, Dr. Jafar Momo, in his office. He alleged that the union members had been treated as slaves by the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewole, stating that the ministry has failed to implement the agreement reached by the union with the federal government on September 30, 2017 for upward adjustment of conhers, which was supposed to begin 5 weeks after it was signed. However, the Chairman Board of National Hospital Abuja, Ms. Patricia Ete, appealed to union officials to shelve its proposed strike in the interest of the people, who she stated are always worse off during such actions in the health sector. Coming ahead, more Nigerians renew interest in the registration and collection of permanent voters' cards. And there will be a little more on sports, entertainment, and the foreign scene. Don't go away.
Nigerians have tested political parties, religion and age. It is time to get a bridge builder to heal the wounds. Hassan Dan Kwambo. Under your watch as Executive Governor of Gombe State, you have been able to manage the state's resources in view of the numerous projects so far completed and the low statutory federal allocations accruable to the state. With your landmark achievements in healthcare, youth employment, women empowerment, road infrastructure, pipe-borne water, security, education and agricultural development, we are sure of a better Nigeria. 2019 is not about power or change, but rather it's about Dan Kwambo to replicate his humility and servant leadership. Dan Kwambo, Nigeria, Nigeria, Dan Kwambo.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome back to the news on television Nigerian. Following the recent declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari of his interest to contest for the presidency in the 2019 general elections, prominent Nigerians and politicians have been reacting both in words and action to the president's announcement. The electorate are not left out, as there appears to be a resurgence of interest in the registration and collection of permanent voters' cards. TVN's correspondent Gimika Tasiobi visited some registration centers in the FCT and has more on the situation.
The president declared his intentions to contest 2019 general elections. It has been observed that there has been a huge turnout of people at regional centers to either their PVCs or to get registered. This development has left concerned citizens wondering if this development is a negative or a positive action by the citizens. We are going to visit the INEC office to get first-hand information about this new development and also to visit the registration centers to get the pulse of the people.
After 2 years of disappointment in Mr. President, I discovered that I need my PVC to send him out and vote another person in. Because like Fashola during their campaign in 2015, Fashola said that if the president didn't do well, I watch it live, you can vote him out. So that's what I want to do now.
It took me time yesterday to convince some of my friends for them to come here for their PVC registration. And I brought up to 5 people this morning.
Yeah, the process is very cumbersome, but just as it has been, if you have patience to wait, you will get it.
Provided you're a citizen of the country, you're eligible to vote. So it mustn't be that since the president declared, that is the reason why people are coming for PVC.
On the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has warned of imminent European civil war between liberal democracy and rising authoritarianism, urging the EU to renew its commitment to democracy. Making a passionate speech to the European Parliament in Strasbourg, he condemned what he called a fascination with the liberals in Europe. Last year, Macron and his new liberal party, La République En Marche, triumphed in French elections with a strongly pro-EU platform. His second-round rival in the presidential election was National Front FN leader Marine Le Pen, a nationalist and fierce critic of the EU. And in sports, Barcelona FC is considering a £60 million summer move for Manchester United forward Anthony Martial. Martial is reported to have reached a contract stalemate with Old Trafford officials amid concerns over his playing time under Jose Mourinho. His present deal expires in the summer of 2019, but United retains the option of a one-year extension. Since Alexis Sanchez joined the club in January, Martial has not scored and has started only 4 games, including defeats at Tottenham and Newcastle, and he was then substituted on the 64th minute against Chelsea. And that's how much we'll take this hour of the news. But just before we go, let's look at stories that made headlines. Buhari appoints Keyamo as 2019 campaign spokesperson. Senate summons ministers over purchase of helicopters. Help workers to begin nationwide strike. Nigerians renew interest in voter registration. And in sports, Barcelona to make £60 million move for United's Martial. And that's the news on the hour on Television Nigeria. But just before we go, let's leave you with this. What's your way of participating in the process of nation building is to vote on the election day. Get your permanent voter card today. Thanks for watching. I am Nten Ekbang. Bye-bye.